Hey there, it is Katie again, and I'm back for my second video, this one in my sitting area of my office because I have pretty chairs, so sometimes I film in front of them, thought I would share them with you. First off, thank you for all of you that commented on the feedback from the first video. I heard from many of you that you were saying thanks, you were saying I needed to hear that, and you're so right, Katie. My takeaway from those comments is that so many of you are really so naturally positive. I love that. You have the absolute right frame of mind for this. I've looked into the history of some of you and what you're doing now and what you've done in the past, and I see a perfect time to go forward. It's kind of like having children. It never really feels like it's perfect time to have them. My parents said, don't wait, Katie, till it's perfect, because then you'll never have children. So you kind of have to jump into it like a cold swimming pool. Everything won't absolutely be lined up, but it will all work out. It really does work out. I also heard from you that some of you are simply ready to move away from your current career, and you don't want to go so far as to call it another career, which because it sounds extreme to you. I get that, and you just want to work as a consultant. That's okay. That approach will actually work great it works as a great part-time effort or as a post-career effort. So know that. And then many of you are living the life of a consultant like I am. I've been doing it for 27 years, but it's feeling a little flimsy or inconsistent, or you just need the guidance and the tools to make it more legitimate. And guess what? The consistent thing, there are methods. Like how to set up retainers that help you with your income staying more regular. And those work like a dream because it also helps your client see you as a regular resource rather than something that kind of comes or goes. So you're on the development curve, whatever it is, and wherever you are on that curve, you've got an exciting project in front of you. Really exciting. My wish for you is that you continue and that you don't give up simply because it looks hard. And I know you're not that kind anyway. There's some hard work involved. My wish for you is that you continue to keep your beautiful self in the picture as someone that so completely deserves it. Remember that. In my first video, I shared my story with you because I thought it might be something that you could relate to. I told you how I made the decision to become a consultant, how I became one after deciding to give up a career as an engineer, a seemingly stable career, and I might say it really was stable, but I left it to go do something that was 180 degrees opposite of that first career, and something that I frankly had not been educated for. The consulting piece I had no education for. So I look back at where I came from to make my business work as a consultant successfully, and all I see is positive. I know it didn't look like that every step along the way. It was sometimes chaos, sometimes challenges, a fear of the unknown. That's okay to have that fear. But you know, at any one point in time, I never really felt like it was horribly insurmountable. And that's because I had that same positive mental attitude that you have. So follow me and I'll show you the path to do this. As promised in this video, I'll share with you my lessons learned to get there. So let's begin with this. Think about what we do as consultants and what we do for clients. We are a resource. In some ways, we are innovators that see the client's needs in a different light and in one way that might require it to have fresh eyes. Maybe they require it to have the fresh eyes that you bring to it. So this is lesson number 1. Remember that your role, the role you bring, has a unique position and one that has an advantage with the client. Automatically, you're likely to see things freshly and with perspective that can solve huge problems for your clients. Now, this is really good news. And actually, it's not news at all. It's the way it is. We forget about it. Let me put it this way. Picture an ideal client for you. It can be an individual, or it can be an organization, or it can be an individual within an organization. But he's a typical person that you can imagine being hired by as a consultant. And now for most situations, you'll go into the organization and you'll start looking for how they can use you. You'll start listening. You'll see an environment that you may be unfamiliar with, probably. And a lot of people that you've probably never met before. You may even imagine them looking you up and down like, hey, what's she think she's doing here? Checking you out. This reaction is completely normal. Your reaction, that not theirs, although that's normal too, I suppose. But it also gets at the core of what many of us are thinking and what will keep you from going forward in this. It might keep you from winning out on a great lifestyle that you really want and that you really deserve. So let's go back to the scenario of you walking into this new client environment. And I want to teach you a quick self-management skill that'll help. Even if you're not one that deals with self-doubt, this is going to help you with your posture as a consultant, because when you fail to see the opportunity, you're failing to optimize your consulting presence. Okay, makes sense? So here's what I mean. Women are good at many things. And one that'll help you as a consultant is your ability to sense undercurrents. We know how to read a room. We know how to read people. But if our self-confidence isn't on its game, or if we read it wrong, or if we're highly distracted, we can read it wrong. Or if we forget that we're in a position of probably knowing more than the client knows, then we can read things wrong. Let's say more about this, because I want you to know this. When you're out in the field working as a consultant, you are the one in the room that knows your area more than anyone else in the room. It's true, but it sometimes doesn't feel like it because you're so overwhelmed with how much you don't know about what's in the room. We don't know the people. We don't know the business. We don't know the norms. We don't even know their problems yet. The reason they're asking us in, we might not know yet. And then people are staring at you with those critical glares. Or maybe better, they're staring at you with great expectations, right? And all of those don't knows or all of those high expectations can lead to a forgetfulness around what you do know. You may not be the expert in what they do or how they do it, but you're the expert in your area, or at least a specialist. If that makes you feel better, call yourself a specialist. You've become intimate with your expertise in a way beyond what they will probably ever know, right? You've seen this sort of thing you've seen your thing over and over again, and they haven't. It's what has become your life work. It's your gig. It's your deal, right? And so when you feel all those don't knows surrounding you, begin listening to your self-talk, that conversation in your head, okay? Lesson number 2, you're the expert, act like the expert. I don't care if you have to fake it to make it. And here's a little exercise that I want you to do to help you with that. Find a place in public where people are walking around and can see you. A mall is a great place, or the lobby of a workplace is great also. And you're looking around at each of them, and I want you to say this word in your head as you're looking at them. Say the word no, okay? Say it as you look at them. Say it as you look over and over again. Say it as you look across many of them. Say no, 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 no. Picture it floating over their head. Now, register how all those no's feel in your gut. How do you see these people? How do you imagine them seeing you? Okay, take that in. And now, let's erase that and change it. Change the word to yes, right? You knew I was going there, right? Imagine that they're thinking the word yes. Imagine that yes is hovering over all their heads. Imagine they're looking at you and they're thinking yes. Look at their faces and read the word yes in them. Engage in that general feeling of yes. And now check your gut again. I guarantee that you're feeling a sense of positive and of more confidence. And that's going to lead to a feeling of possibility. And when this feeling of positivity and possibility comes into your body and into your spirit, your ability to see clearly sharpens. We know that this actually comes from studies in neuroscience. Using the positive positioning allows our neuronal networks, to be more innovative, and it heightens our ability for critical problem solving. And that's really good for consulting, isn't it? Yeah, I know this is the engineer in me talking. But in addition to talking about that spiritual well-being, I really love talking about the science that backs it up, because sometimes it draws people in at a different level. Okay, so now let's tie that yes-no exercise back into your role as a consultant. Too many times we shoot ourselves in the foot by not seeing how well we may fit into a client's workplace. We might quickly tell ourselves, oh, they're thinking no, or they don't really need me, or look how well they're doing without me. And all we see is those no's. And it keeps us from seeing beyond things that might be possible. Those yeses are your opportunity for not just seeing more solutions for them in your area of consulting, but also seeing you in their space as a partner, right? And by the way, that partner mentality, you see yourself not just as an expert, but envision seeing yourself as a partnering expert. All right, that's important. We talk about that a lot in Time to Fly. Now, there's an illustration that I use in my classes, including the Time to Fly consulting course. I assign a field assignment where students are to count the number of yellow Jeeps that they see. You know, over the course of the week, I want them to count any yellow Jeeps, and then when they come back, they're to tell me how many they've counted. And so they look at me like, huh? What? I say, that's fine. Just do it. I know it sounds crazy. When they reconvene the following session, I start out with a question about how many Jeeps they'd seen. And I get answers like, well, I thought you were crazy, Katie. I didn't think there was such a thing. I mean, are there really yellow Jeeps? And within the first day, I saw 3 of them alone. So the lesson is this, and this is your lesson number 3. It's an important one. We don't get what we want. We get what we focus on. Focus on your dreams for this reason. Focus on your positives, not on your negatives. Focus on your goals. Focus on your intentions. Everything that I'm telling you is from my own experience. I try not to think about it, but I lost an incredible number of opportunities to help others as a consultant because I quit too quickly. That's right, I wrote off their potential interest in hiring me or just in listening to me ask questions about them because I didn't see those yellow Jeeps. I halfway didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was looking for and how I could connect with clients when I did see them. So I lived in an area of naivety for a long time. And even after I got pretty good at consulting, there were still areas that I needed to be refining, still do. So if you've been out there as a consultant already, you can see yourself in these situations. You know what I'm talking about. Start tweaking them and make them more ideal. Be in a client's circle. Visualize yourself in their inner circle. Visualize yourself as a trusted advisor. Hold yourself up straight and with poise. Remember, small steps are the best way to get these mountains climbed. Start with these 3 lessons that I've just shared. Lesson number 1, you are in a unique and honorable position to help your clients. Lesson number 2, you're the expert. Act like the expert. Lesson number 3, we don't get what we want. We get what we focus on. And so I invite you to share with others right now. Share with them what you've discovered, where you're coming from. Tell others what you think is going to be different about you, about your particular situation, and share it here in the comments. There's really a great strength in speaking out loud. When you verbalize, you're helping your head decide on a mindset that can see you through it. So that's why I see this more as a community than just a class. And in the next video, I will be talking about how you might be missing some key language phrases that lead to the 2 critical factors in a consulting relationship, both being competent and being legitimate. Some language that'll help you with that. I hope you can join me for that. This is Katie, and I'm from Time to Fly Consulting. I'll have more for you in the next video. Thanks.